Career journalist Utku Çakırözer, who lost his job as an editor-in-chief at the Cumhuriyet daily due to the challenging environment of press freedom in Turkey, is hopeful that running for a parliamentary seat in Eskişehir on the main opposition Republican People's Party, CHP, ticket will give him a chance to fight for freedom of expression and press freedoms in the country. Çakırözer, who was never a member of any political party before being offered the opportunity to run for the second position on CHP's candidate list in the northwestern city of Turkey, is expected to win easily in his hometown. There are 6 parliamentary seats available in Eskişehir. One area that I need to focus on is press freedoms. As you know very well, there is a deadlock in journalism. There are not many media outlets left to work with. There is a great deal of pressure from the government on the media, he said. It is important to maintain a free, democratic environment in our country. I have always viewed journalism as a profession of public service. Now I would like to continue this public service through politics, Çakırözer continued. Çakırözer was previously an editor-in-chief at the pro-secular Cumhuriyet. The paper printed a 4-page selection of cartoons and articles last January in a show of solidarity with the French satirical magazine Charlie Hebdo after a deadly attack against Charlie Hebdo's cartoonists. The Cumhuriyet left out cartoons that Muslims could have found offensive, such as the controversial cover of Charlie Hebdo depicting the Prophet Muhammad, but 2 Cumhuriyet columnists used small, black and white images of the Charlie Hebdo cover that features the Prophet Muhammad as their column headers in the same issue. Police had stopped trucks as they left the newspaper's printing center and checked the paper's content after it had announced that it would print a selection of Charlie Hebdo cartoons. Police allowed the distribution to proceed after verifying that the French magazine's controversial cover was not included in the issue. Answering questions about that controversy, Çakırözer said he supported leaving out the Charlie Hebdo cover out of respect for citizens' ability to practice their faith and religious sensitivities. He explained that the 2 columnists decided to include the controversial cover in their columns and out of respect for freedom of expression, they were allowed to do so. Noting that Prime Minister Ahmet Davutoglu attended a march in Paris arm-in-arm with other world leaders in a show of solidarity for freedom of expression and to condemn terrorism, Çakırözer dismissed criticism of his decision to include Charlie Hebdo cartoons in the Cumhuriyet. We also wanted to be a part of that solidarity, just like Prime Minister Davutoglu did, Çakırözer pointed out. After the Charlie Hebdo controversy, Çakırözer was dismissed from his post as an editor-in-chief at the Cumhuriyet on January 30. Çakırözer said running for parliament comes with big responsibilities and just like a journalist, he wants to paint an accurate picture of what's happening in Turkey, both in domestic affairs and foreign policy. It will be interesting for me to be on the side of making decisions as a politician, said Çakırözer, pointing out that as a journalist he was on the other side, questioning the motives of decision-makers. Educated as a computer engineer, followed by a political science master's degree both at Bilkent University in Ankara, Çakırözer explained that he decided to be a journalist after the tragic murder of Cumhuriyet columnist Umku. Umku was killed when a bomb was placed beneath his car on January 24, 1993. Çakırözer said he spent the night in front of the Cumhuriyet Istanbul headquarters with other mourners for Umku. When asked about his top agenda items in the election campaign, Çakırözer emphasized that unemployment in Eskişehir is the #1 issue, pointing to the large number of unemployed people in the city despite the fact that most are educated. Çakırözer also said that he will be focusing more on the situation for retirees as they struggle to make ends meet. Çakırözer also said the healthcare reforms of the ruling Justice and Development Party, AK Party, have not worked out and are another agenda item. Talking to a large number of pharmacists in the city, Çakırözer said that as it stands pharmacists have to argue with patients over unpaid subsidies by their employers. The pharmacies cannot provide drugs to patients before ensuring that all subsidy payments were made. The CHP is careful about engaging in a positive campaign, Çakırözer emphasized, rather than attacking the ruling party. When asked what he thinks about some of the AK party officials claiming in rallies that if the CHP comes to power they will close down the religious vocational high schools called Imam Hatip, or that the CHP will ban Arabic prayers and replace them with prayers in Turkish, Çakırözer said he doesn't think this rhetoric is effective on voters. Voters do not believe in such things. I was not asked about these subjects. They know that we are not going to make such changes, said Çakırözer. Çakırözer also noted that he is saddened to hear that some people are trying to leave the country due to pressures on daily life, such as restrictions on freedoms, and to provide better education for their children. We need to break this mentality to leave the country. We need to live in this country. That's why I am in politics. We are not a third world country, and the source of this mentality is not poverty but education and restrictions on daily life. What we need is peace and an environment of democratic debate over issues. I believe the CHP will be number one in Eskişehir. I believe we will be the party to form the next government after the elections, Çakırözer said.